All right, we are live. Kim and I both just got back from the dentist. We were like rushing to get online. I'm glad we made it.
And we have beautiful smiles.
If you're hanging around, go ahead and give us a wave. If you submitted a question, let us know. We are talking about memberships cancellation.
Yes. And it's a sad thing to talk about, I guess, because you don't want your members to cancel. You want them to stay. But there are some things you can do to make the process better for you as admin so you get more information, but still keeping it user-friendly. I know a lot of people dislike any subscription service that makes them stay a member without any opportunity to cancel except a phone call or multiple steps and multiple things that are like, are you really sure? How about this thing? And are you really sure? So I don't want to recommend that, but I can give you a few tips for things you can do if you're having a problem with cancellations or just want more visibility. So, yeah.
Yeah, no one wants to jump through 18 hoops.
Yeah.
To save a few bucks.
Jason was a member of a gym local to our previous home. And it was like you had to fill out a paper and then you had to fax it to headquarters and then you had to wait for a response. And he was like, really? Like, no. Can this be more simple? So don't do that to your customers.
That's rough. That's rough.
Totally.
Well, if we want to dive in.
Sure. I'm ready when you all are. Cool. Okay.
Take it away.
So the first thing I want to do is just show you how the default cancellation works in Paid Memberships Pro. So I'm logged in here. I am an admin, but I have a membership account. If I go to my account page, I'm a beginner level member. I have the membership for free, but even with a paid level, this would work the same way. So on your membership account page, if you're using the default Paid Memberships Pro block or shortcode section, this membership section, users will see a link to a page to cancel their membership. It asks them if they're sure. There's one kind of confirm step. They can say no and go back to their account page, or they could say yes. And when they click that button, their membership is canceled immediately. If they had a recurring subscription and hopefully your membership payment gateway is set up correctly, at that point, our system sends a message to your payment gateway through either IPN or through something called a webhook and sends that information to the gateway. The gateway communicates back through that IPN, through that webhook, and says, yes, success. The membership was canceled. The recurring payment is canceled. And that's really what you want to happen in most cases. You want that connection so that the user can cancel and that the subscription stays in sync with their membership. So this user account immediately loses access to any content that's like beginner level. That's an enhanced. Okay, here's an example of a blog post that was required for beginner level members. I can't access this anymore. My membership is immediately terminated. So this is a talk about customizing the process. So the first one I want to show you is called the Cancel on Next Payment Date add-on for Paid Memberships Pro. And the way this works is instead of that immediate membership cancellation, it sets the expiration date for the user and cancels the subscription at the gateway. So the users can still freely cancel their membership, but it gives them their existing term through. So let's do a demo of that just so you can see. I'm going to first, I'm going to check out for a membership level. I just have a testing gateway here. Let me get a membership level that has a recurring subscription on my admin account. So once I have this beginner level, did I choose beginner? Yeah. So I have this beginner level. I just paid you $10. Technically, I'll renew 30 days from now, a month from now, my membership will renew. So let's install that add-on. If you go to memberships add-ons and you have a license key activated, you can install the cancel on next payment date. Here it is. I already had it installed in the site, so I just have to activate it. If you didn't have it installed, you see a link like install, and then you'd activate it in the next step. This add-on has no settings. When you activate the plugin, it immediately starts to work. So let's test it and we'll see what actually happens. So I'm a beginner level member. I have just purchased $10 a month. I can click cancel. Are you sure you want to cancel your membership? Yes, cancel this membership. When I do that, it sets a message on my screen, my recurring subscription has been canceled. So that's that communicating with the gateway. I won't be billed again. My active membership will expire on June 11th, 2023. So it's giving me that month term from the point of checkout. We can confirm this, go back to a piece of content that was protected for beginner level, and it's still unlocked to me. When I go to my membership account page, it shows me that my billing is nothing. I'm not being billed again, and that my expiration will be on June 11th, 2023. So that's a really straightforward way to avoid people canceling and then saying like, oh, I want my money back. If you had a policy that said like, we don't refund payments, your membership just gets extended through your next payment date, that's a good first step to avoid those cases where people might cancel, even if it's an annual membership, they cancel in March. There's many months of unrealized membership in that period of unrealized benefit. So if you install this add-on, it just works out of the box, no settings to extend the payment date or extend the expiration date, I guess I'll say. There is, let me open another window. Let's see. It's also included in the confirmation emails that get sent. So that's the admin one. Okay, so here's the confirmation email the user will get sent that it sets the end date a month from checkout. So pretty well done, pretty communicating to the user. Users can go back and cancel on top of it. So if they canceled, the recurring subscription is ended, but they just really don't want it anymore. Once they have an expiration date sent with this add-on, they can cancel and truly cancel their membership. So that's just if they come back to that cancel link later, you'll see then I lose that access and me as that admin user are no longer a beginner level member. So that's the first one I wanted to demonstrate. Anyone have any questions in between before I show the next kind of customization process, or should I just keep going?
We have a couple questions, but I feel like it might end up being a little bit more troubleshooting than something straightforward.
Keep showing a few of our other methods for cancellations and then go through that again. All right, I'm going to give myself a membership again, just so that we have it in our back pocket while we work on other things. The next cancellation customization I want to show you is lock membership level. This is really useful for sites that want people to at least spend a fixed number of payments or terms on the membership site, or they want to not allow people to cancel at all. There's other ways to do that, which we'll get into, but lock membership level can do a specific term. Let's say you have a membership site that ships something of high value at the start of the membership. We had a customer once that would ship people who had hair loss due to some medical treatments. They would get shipped a wig that was custom made for them and then become part of a support community. So that initial payment, they did charge more upfront, but they also recouped a few of those, a bit of that cost over the term of the membership. So they wanted people to kind of be locked into a specific period, at least to have made 3 payments or 6 payments on the membership, and then unlock the ability for them to actually cancel if they choose to. So I'm going to go back into memberships, add-ons, and let's deactivate the cancel on next payment date so we don't cross wires with what we're updating. Okay, cool. So that one is called lock membership level. I'm going to install and activate it. Cool. So what this does is now in my membership level settings, when I go in and I edit a level, beginner is the one that I am a member of right now. I go into other settings and then you'll see something called lock membership settings. And this is a setting per membership level. So you can have some membership levels that allow cancellation. It does work in tandem with the cancel on next payment date add-on. So you could be using that for some standard memberships. And then you have this one premium membership that you want to disallow cancellation for. So let's say we want our beginner to be locked and we will say we're going to do it after a time period. We're a monthly membership. So let's add 3 months. Maybe you might have to do 4 months, but let's say 3 months is when we will allow people who've purchased beginner to actually cancel. They'll have paid us $30 at that point. So now when I go to my account and I go to cancel, I try to cancel and it worked and it shouldn't work. Aren't I a beginner? Did I do the wrong one? Membership is not active. All right, let's try again. Did I really have that level? Or is it broken? That does happen from time to time. Let me check the settings before I go through this. And I want to make sure it's not, let it go ahead.
Kim, in the settings, when you're looking at them, when you're in time period, can you tell the viewers what are the other options other than time period?
Sure.
Because we can't see when you drop down your menu what your other options are.
It doesn't show? Okay, so it's day, week, month, and year, which are the we actually have hourly memberships now in Paid Memberships Pro, but it is by day, month, week, or did I say week? Yeah, day, week, month, or year are the
And then what
options
about the
in
first
that
box?
drop-down. It either never or by time period. So I'm on time
Okay.
period right now. Another option is to never allow them to cancel. And maybe it's broken and maybe we'll be filing a bug report. We'll see. All right.
It wouldn't be the first time on the show.
It would not be the first time on our Open App Stars. Let's try again. No, it's letting me cancel. Well, it shouldn't be letting me cancel. Let's change it to never. Check to let the users after they get this. I wondered if it was because I didn't have the level beforehand. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to actually, I'll log out and I'm going to sign up for a new user membership. Okay. Join. This is enhanced. What level do we want? We want beginner. File a bug report. All right. Testing locks. Okay. All right. So I'm not an admin now. I don't know that that would be at play here. Okay. I wonder if it just wants you to be like, have a day in between. Are we doing it too quickly?
Come back tomorrow and find out.
Yeah, come back tomorrow and find out. So it's supposed to work like that. We'll figure out why it's not. But yeah, it's supposed to not allow membership level cancels. Okay, file a bug report. But the idea of that this add-on is that it locks for a term or so. Maybe that's just the caveat. It won't work on the first day. Let's see if I have any.
I know Kim White is watching. Maybe Kim White can do a test on one of her sites and then check tomorrow to see if it works.
It doesn't like the first day. So let's see if we have a member we can test with who has an existing old recurring subscription. Yeah, and they're beginner. That's the one we want. All right, let's try to log in as this person. Here's the zany password, and the username is Ryan_Wingrove. All right, let's go back. I hope I'm spelling it right. No, V Grove. Okay. So now we're logged into an account that's been a beginner level member. And it lets them do it too. All right, file that bug report. We have a dud.
I'll let you do that. I don't know how.
Okay, I'll do it after. Okay. So that's sad, but it's okay. We will fix things. We know people who can fix things. All right, I'm going to log back in as admin. I'm going to show another one, but I want to deactivate. Yeah. Oh, let's look at this quick. Who are our locked members? No. Mostly I use it personally. If you have somebody who's just kind of been a repeat offender, like a not great customer, a not great membership site, if you have a community site, you can manually lock an individual user from repurchasing membership, which is a great thing because you might have someone that cancels and then comes back and then asks for a refund and then buys again. And if that person is really tiresome for you, you can use that add-on to specifically say that user account can't purchase membership again. But it should be working the way that we hoped, and it isn't. Okay.
It's like being banned from Disney World.
Yeah, banned from Disney World. The next one we're going to look at is an add-on that adds a field on the cancel page before they actually complete cancellation that asks why. Why are you canceling your membership with us? So again, we'll go to memberships add-ons.
And we had somebody submit a question about this, so hopefully that person is here to see it in action.
Yeah, right? Okay, so just like I don't have a membership level, I should just give myself one in the back end. How many times are we going to have a checkout on this call? As many as we need. Okay, so reason for canceling on that same cancel page, we're going to go back to it. It asks people, why is this taking so long? Okay, before they can complete the cancellation, it has a field Are you sure you want to cancel? If so, enter a reason. And it's a free text field. A lot of sites you'll see this feature on, like big websites you might be members of, also ask a reason. This one is required. It's not an optional field. And we intentionally don't have like a drop down with reasons. It's kind of nice to get that free text information and see what your members really communicate to you. Sometimes it's a little bit biting and a little bit unkind. Hopefully not. We've seen all different kinds. You know, if it's just, I don't run a membership site anymore, that's a reason people cancel their Paid Memberships Pro account. They couldn't financially afford it, or their business ideas shifting. But we get a lot of that information. We kind of have to mine it ourselves, look at all those reasons, group them up, and make them make sense periodically. We're not doing that all the time. But in your site, it could just provide some valuable information. I wasn't getting enough value from the membership. I wasn't getting enough new course content. Or it could be, you know, I only use my mobile phone and your site was loading really slowly and I couldn't maintain my membership. It wasn't working for me. So any information you can take action on will really help you reduce churn, not only because you're asking people for that reason, which can create some hesitation, but also then you can look at that data and make changes to kind of reduce people canceling in the first place. So this is why I'm canceling. This is also compatible with the cancel on next payment date add-on. So if you wanted to ask the reason, but still give people membership through their prepaid term, you could do that. And
Sensible
then this information
Senpo also agreed and said, I like that because it means you can develop further, which is just what you said.
It's just what
you can take their feedback and act on it if you choose to do so.
If you choose to. So where does that reason show up? It'll show up for you in your admin notes for the order. So it's kind of hard to find. I do have some custom code of a report I made to dump it all in one place when we were doing some analysis. And then it also does show in the email that the admin receives, which is this one. So when your user cancels, the admin is sent an email. We inject the reason into that email. So if it's enough for you to just get those emails and peek at them once in a while, or if you have someone operating that for you, they could kind of make a judgment of what class and category this falls into and start creating like a spreadsheet and say like, oh, another one for speed or another one for not enough value. And then you can look more deeply at it when you have the time to take action. So that's a really cool one. We did have a question, and I'm going to go through that now. A user asked about, I'm going to give myself back that membership level just like this without doing another payment. A user asked about like more structured form, because that add-on is just that free text area. They were like, can we get more structured information from this? And you can. So this is kind of a two-part demo here. The cancel page for Paid Memberships Pro, just, you know, membership settings pages. Those are all the front-end pages that Paid Memberships Pro uses. And then the contents of that page are either our cancel page shortcode or this is the cancel page block. You don't have to put this on this page. You can put anything you want on this page. Remove it completely. It does take away users' abilities to cancel, which isn't great. But you could put tons of stuff here, like, are you really sure we have a coupon? If you want to pay less, here it is. You could say, like, call us and let's talk about what is going on and how we could do better. Anything you want, really. You could say like, you know, I'm sorry you have to call us to cancel. Please don't do that. But the cool thing I want to show here is creating like a more structured form for this. And I don't have a forms plugin. I'm installing Ninja Forms because I know that I can achieve this with the free version. I hope I don't have to go through a huge setup wizard. We'll see.
So real quick, Kim, while you have Ninja Forms installing, Essential Deliverables were saying that they're not using the lock membership level add-on, but members cannot cancel membership. I would go in and check that member cancellation page within your PMPro settings, because if anybody who was working on your site did get rid of that block that Kim deleted before, that's likely why they can't cancel. I would, at least what I'm understanding.
There could be a lot to debug there. And I'm not clear when you say that members can't cancel if they can't cancel their payment portion, let's say, because Paid Memberships Pro works with your gateway, but it's not it is not your gateway. It's not the one that manages those payments. So maybe people can cancel their membership, but that subscription stays active. Then you would want to look into, is your membership payment settings properly set up, that your site's properly communicating with the gateway. I would also look at any custom code you might have or other plugins that look at membership level, or Zaps or other features you might have that might be applying a membership level back. We're going to get into it later, but we have a recipe that when people cancel, it gives them a different membership level. It should still be canceling their subscription, but it should be, essentially giving them a pro bono, a free membership level as kind of a holding pattern. So it could be custom code in there that's at play. It could be a lot of things. I'd have to see, like, what does the page look like when they try to cancel? Do they get that confirmation screen, but their level stays? Yeah, it's not how it should work.
Lots of troubleshooting.
Yeah, starting with troubleshooting is where you want to go. Okay, so let's add a form. Collect feedback. Sure, we'll choose one of their previous ones. I'm going to leave some of these default fields because you want in your Ninja form submissions record, you want that information available to you so you can make sense of it. But I'll just update the Ninja form to have what's called a default value, and that'll pull from the active logged in users information. Essentially, no one can get to the cancel page in Paid Memberships Pro unless they have a membership level. There's other logic in place that's going to redirect them. So this is good enough. How would you rate our last newsletter? Are you satisfied with our blog article? Any additional feedback? And then the thing I want to do, I want to change where it submits to, which I thought we could do. Success message. No, let's see.
Record submission, the last one.
We do want to record the submission. I'm wondering where you do like the, here, redirect. Okay. So we're going to go to, what is this page? Redirect is what you want, because what I'm going to show us here is, I'm going to add a new page, like, I'm going to call it really canceled. That's a bad name. Don't call yours that. Okay. And I'm going to nest this under the other cancel page. Okay. And I'm going to put on this page the cancel form. Okay. So now we have a page that sits under our true cancel page. And which tab am I on here? Okay. So that's the page we want that form to submit to. And now, oh, no, I don't want to switch to draft. Let's update this one. And we'll stick that form here. Feedback. Okay, so let's go through this from the start. Well, I'll recap what we did after we show if it actually worked. That's probably smart. So on the membership account page, we have a cancel page. We removed the default Pay Memberships Pro one. And why is it showing us these fields when it should be showing the field? I don't know what this. Did I do it as a placeholder? Or did I do it as a default value? I thought default value. That's weird. Oh, okay. That's a Ninja Forms thing, not mine. Oh, we're going to say we're unsatisfied because we're canceling. Like, I don't want this. Okay. And then we're going to submit. And it submits the information that's stored in your Ninja Forms submissions table. And now the user can really cancel their membership. Oh, no, they can't. Oh, because it goes to that page. We need the attribute of the level ID submitted. Okay, let's try that again. We say on the blog post about this, like, you just stick a form on there and do that instead. But I get why it's like a little problematic. All right. What level ID am I? 1. Okay. Okay. Updated. All right, let's try again. Okay. We're unsatisfied. No thanks. Let's see if it works this time. Submit. No, it's going to keep going back to that page. How could I do that? The problem is that the cancel page needs the attribute on the thing. So in theory, this works, but it's not working. If it submits to itself, oh, you know what we could do? Let's try turn off the redirect success message. I wonder if I can put a short code in here. I wonder if that would work. This is our next attempt here, y'all. Otherwise, we're gonna have just duds.
Need an
Oh, it
email.
doesn't think I have an email address because that doesn't count. Okay, this is it. It better work. No, it doesn't like my short code. There's another way to do this. It's passing that thing around that it doesn't like. Well, I could debug another debug thing for me. But in essence, what we really want, we want this to be the page assigned, but we don't want that to be where they go. Yeah, it should work in theory, but in reality, because we pass that attribute, it submits to itself. So it really wants that field on that page. But yeah, it does still work to say, just have other fields on this page that limit what you can do. Make them contact you in a different way. Maybe they submit that Ninja form and then you manually go in later and look at that and look at what people submitted to the form. It should still have been capturing information here. Yeah, with that information. So it's a little more robust than using the reason for canceling. It just doesn't work as we theorized it would work right out of the box. So we just have to find a way to filter that in a different way so it submits to the right page. But yeah, too bad. All right, what is my next one? Oh, we're going to show canceling and downgrading. Should we show that one too?
Yeah, do you want to answer a couple questions and stuff first, and then we'll go back
Sorry
to
for my sad demo, y'all.
Then we'll go to the code part of it all.
Yeah, we're not coding.
Okay, so essential deliverables. Again, these are kind of more like they might be a little bit of like troubleshooting and just kind of pointing them in directions to look at. So they're using the default settings and tested just trying to cancel membership and was given the message that this membership cannot be canceled.
It wouldn't happen out of the box with Paid Memberships Pro. You would have to be using custom code, that lock membership level. We don't really have anything built into core that if you're not using custom code or add-ons, that would prevent that. Do they know if they have any custom code or anything? Or let's see. If they're in the chat. Are they in the chat or was this pre-submitted?
They're in the chat. So
yeah, please let us know. It shouldn't happen with default Paid Memberships Pro that would happen. It would have to be customized in some way. I don't know what was the message? This membership cannot be canceled. Maybe they have locked membership level and it's actually working. That could be the case in a way that it wasn't for us today. Yeah, that exact message doesn't ring a bell to me. Look at
maybe an interesting blog post would be like troubleshooting why members can't cancel.
Yeah. I'm starting to think of a message here. You know what? The locked membership level makes you set a page. Guys, I just realized what I did wrong.
Maybe
That's
it's
what
not
you have to
broken.
do. It's not broken. You have to set a page. Oh my gosh. Memberships, settings, pages. Let me activate the plugin. Oh my gosh. Hey, you know what? That question unlocked something for us. Yes. Okay. You need a page. Membership locked. Let's just see if it worked. I still have beginner, right? No, it still let me cancel. Who knows? You do have to set a page for it because it's where it redirects people to if they can't join. Yeah, it's still locked. Unlock never. Okay, another question?
Yes. So Sensible Synco, I keep getting them canceled their direct payment instead of using the button. Does it cancel their account on PMPro if they do this? So it sounds like if they're on the gateway and they cancel their subscription,
Yes.
does it cancel their account on PMPro?
It should if it's properly set up, and that's it. Only gateways that really let people do that. Stripe, I don't think lets people by default unless you're using that customer portal, but PayPal does. So a person with a PayPal account can log in, can view all of the people they're paying, the recurring subscriptions they have, and click a button say, nope, cancel. And if your website is properly communicating with PayPal, PayPal will send what's called an IPN. It's a message from PayPal to the membership site. Hey, this subscription is no longer active. And Paid Memberships Pro should either immediately cancel their membership access, downgrade their membership level to none. They would still have a user account on your WordPress site. Or if you're using cancel on next payment date, it should cancel them and set the expiration date to the day before they would have paid again. So it should be working that way. If your site isn't, then we do have some troubleshooting guides on issues with the IPN and things like that. So PayPal does have a history of IPN that was sent. So you can go to that page and resend a notice to the site. If it's within 28 days, you can resend an IPN notice. And that would send that message again to the membership site. And you can see if it's where it's breaking down and what it's not triggering properly. If you turn on like debug, it'll send you an email and give you kind of the output of what it did or didn't receive from your PayPal gateway.
Perfect. Okay. And then can you use the cancellation plugins in conjunction with each other?
Yep, certain ones you can. I ask a specific question of which you want to use. You can absolutely use Reason for canceling with cancel on next payment date. If lock membership level worked, you could use it that way. Lock does work. We have it on our site. It works to lock people from purchasing a new membership, but it is supposed to also work on cancel. Yeah. They should all work together. Those two.
Okay.
Which other one did we demo? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Drills to Skills is asking how long before the lock membership level add-on is fixed.
Yeah, how long?
I don't think any of our dev teams on
come
watching
on,
us
people.
right now,
Hopefully
but
today. I hope it's like a silly thing that I'm not doing right,
Hopefully it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
If not, stay tuned. That's the best answer.
I'm just like, is it when? I'm trying to see if it's. I have the page now.
Kim White just said, if a user cannot cancel, they may have removed the cancel shortcode.
That's true.
And then so Global Voice Acting Academy is saying that I guess the PayPal thing that we were just talking about, PayPal said that's not how it works. So I'm not sure.
Tell us more about what PayPal said, because we use PayPal on our own site and we don't have this issue. Tell me what PayPal gateway you're using. It should work that terminating the subscription at the gateway side sends the IPN. So if a user cancels their subscription in the PayPal side, it should send that IPN to your membership site, and your membership site receives it and then processes the cancellation. It kind of works two ways.
Yeah. So let us know more information, because we learn just as much as you guys learn on these calls.
Yeah.
We've always been told it's not a two-way street. It's only one way. That's what they just said.
Do you have your PayPal IPN properly configured? Google. Here is I don't want Google Lens. This is a good blog post to check out about setting your IPN up in PayPal with step-by-step instructions of where to set it for your site.
Can you drop me that link so I can put it in the chat?
Sure.
Or if you can, I don't know if you have access to the chat or not.
I can try.
And then the last question we have, there it is, you got it. Is there a way to cancel their access but keep them as members?
Yes. Kind of like pausing. Like they can't access stuff, but why do you want them as members if they can't access stuff? It's always interesting to know what you're trying to do, and that helps us make the right recommendation. We do have a recipe that maintains someone's membership. You don't necessarily have to cancel their subscription, but there are some gateways do allow like a pause the next few payments or pause indefinitely the subscription. And then we have code that says, even though they have this membership level, this specific user can't access stuff. I can hunt for that. We don't love pausing and kind of what you're really trying to do and why you're doing that. They matter here because it matters how what we recommend to you. Yeah. Can I just celebrate that locked membership level did work?
Yes.
Just now.
Yes.
And I don't know
so
what
it's
I
probably
did.
not broken.
I think it was that I didn't have the lock page set up. And I think it only works from a point forward. It doesn't work retroactively. So we were running some tests as an admin user and we had set it up incorrectly because we didn't have that page assigned. And we tried to cancel the admin that had received their membership before the proper setup. So I think having that page assigned is some key component, which is still bad and our code could do better here. So maybe it's something we can take a look at. We are about to enter like our next cycle of development projects. And I know this isn't slated for it, but
yeah, we're busy.
Perhaps the issue, maybe in the last 10 minutes, we can say like, this is a brand new website, no members, and test once more from start to finish, knowing that that page is assigned and a key component here. So
yeah, Ryan just asked, is it working with a new account after locked account was set up, right? So
yes,
we'll have to see. And then maybe we should, I don't know what the documentation looks like on the add-ons page, but maybe we should up our documentation on the steps
a little
here.
bit. Lock test 2. All right. This is when I think it's properly set. Oh, I didn't set it up on the professional level. Look at me. We think it's set up properly. We're getting a new account. Is that in the future? Is it 2025 yet? Okay. So we're testing a new checkout. We have the page assigned. We have this level says it's locked forever. We try to cancel and it redirects us to that page. So seems like it's working now. That key component is that page and only setting up in the future.
To answer Jill's skills question, within 5 minutes, it's fixed. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Aren't we quick? Oh. I should probably have read the documentation before I did this call so that I could. Okay. Disabling a paused member's access. This is a great article to check out. I'm going to put it in the chat. Do links work in chat? Just give us a comment. Sometimes I notice that YouTube
they don't like, you have to
copy the text. Like they're not actually, okay.
It's not actual links. They are, but they're not. You can't just click on them.
Yeah. So this article really goes into like, think deeply about pausing, think deeply about why you're offering this. We wrote this article through the pandemic because it was coming up a lot for our in pre-sales contact. Like I have members that can't pay me, but I want them to just, I'm hopeful that they'll come back in 3 months when they want to. Can we just like not charge them for 3 months, but they stay active and then it starts charging them again? That was the most common case. They wanted to suspend payments for a few periods and then automatically resume payments and maintain their access. In this case, it sounds like you want to pause or cancel their subscription, maintain their membership assignment or level, just for your own logic in the background, but not let them have the access that their level allows them to. Did we get any clarity on that one, Sam, or not yet?
Which one?
Kind of removing the access.
I don't think so.
No. Okay. So one thing I might suggest is if you just want to know that they were members. Oh, here I am. I'm not logged into the right account. I got to log in as my right user. One thing you can do is if you're canceling their subscription anyway, I'm going to add a new free level. I'm going to call this like beginner holding. And I'm going to make it hidden from signups, disabling new signups. So now I have a level that I can move beginner members into after they're canceled, but I still kind of know they were associated with beginner. So my admin allows me to sort them. They'll see that they were like old former beginner member or something when they log in, but that level I would never give any restricted content access to. I would never check the box for beginner holding for a private post or a course or a community feature in BuddyPress. I would just use that as a holding level to keep my paused members organized. That's like a no-code approach. You may dislike that approach, but I want to throw it out there as something straightforward that won't create like, where did I put that code and what am I doing? Behind the scenes. So that's just something. We have an article on disabling an individual user's access to specific content. And it looks at it adds like a hidden user field to the user, and you could log in as admin, edit that user's membership, edit that user's profile in the WordPress admin, tick that box. And for every time that user with that membership level tries to access protected content, the logic in this is going to say like, nope, they don't have it. Even though they look like a beginner level, they have that ID in the members list, their access is technically paused and rejected. So should I put that one in the chat? Pause.
Well, which one is pause? Okay, yeah, that one's not in there.
Right.
Kim White sent me one that you were looking at as well that I put in there.
Yeah, we're going to do that one, Kim. I really want to show that one. What would I call this? I just want to put this in the chat. This is like a member with level, but don't give access. I'll call it that. Perfect. Okay, cool. What is next? I just wanted to show that. I think that's truthfully what you were asking for. I just wonder if that beginner holding level might do the trick and you don't have to keep track of who's paused and whose boxes are checked and all that stuff. It's a little more clear when you filter your members list. You could see all those beginner holding users.
Is there any setup required for the reason for canceling add-on?
Nope. It is a install, activate, and immediately on the site, no settings. All your levels will go through that same process of having that text area added to the cancel page. And then that's it.
Perfect. I think you can go on with your code recipes now.
Okay. The one I specifically want to show is the one Kim shared, which is changing level on cancellation or expiration. And this is a really useful one when you have a free level. We do at Paid Memberships Pro. We used to have this code on our site. We don't now. I think we have to put it back on because you need a free membership to access some documentations and some other stuff on the site, some of the free add-ons that we host ourselves outside of .org. So this one would say, here, actually, I already put it on the site. I'm using the code snippets plugin. So I did already add this one. I just don't have that logic activated yet. So I copied the entire recipe out of this field, just not that initial PHP tag. And it'll give you a warning on this.
I'm sorry,
there is a little.
You can hear my dog.
We can hear your puppy. I wish my puppies are out here. They can't hear your puppy.
He's having a puppy dream over here.
Oh. So this logic says if they're canceled, they don't have another payment, and their level ID is 0, which means no level. That means they're canceling. Give them level ID 1 instead. In our site, we want to make sure that our free level is 1, which is not. It's 5. So we're going to update this recipe right here, just this one. Make the 1 a 5. And the level ID you can get on the settings levels at first column, that individual number there is the ID. So I'm going to save and activate this snippet. And with this active now on the site, what should happen, I don't have a level. Let me see. Edit profile. Well, I'll get a real level just in case. Who knows? Okay. Again, we're going to do our test checkout. I don't know why I always leave Stripe in test mode when I do demos. I should really switch to the on-site default testing gateway because it's faster. Here we have to just wait a moment to communicate with Stripe. Okay. So cancel and downgrade to free level. Let's see if this works. Oh, I'm still locked. That's funny. Let's deactivate. We know locked is working now, everybody. Deactivate. Okay, try again. Yeah, I'm locked. I'm not allowed to cancel. That's right. Okay, now I can really cancel. Yes, cancel this membership. And now your membership has been canceled. And let's go to our account and we're actually free. So it canceled and downgraded me seamlessly. My new level is free and it's a free membership level. It's kind of that holding level. And that's a really good thing if you kind of have tiers of membership access and you have something that you give everyone for free. It doesn't make sense to have any user in that membership site not have a level. It's your default level. It's what everyone should be holding. Oh, my dogs are barking now too. Yeah. So that's a cool recipe, especially when you have multiple tiers like that to hold people in. And I think we posted that one on the thing. There's a second one in here. You need this if you actually want people to be able to cancel free on top of it all. So most people don't need to use this second recipe, but it's available to you if you wanted to. Clean up my tabs. Cool.
Awesome.
What else?
Well, if anybody has more questions, throw them our way. And I'm not really sure. I think we answered a lot that was pre-submitted because it was just things that you were going over to begin with.
True.
Do you have any best practice tips?
I would say, like, for us, the number one, I mean, if once you start canceling reason or getting reasons for canceling, then you can make some changes in the site. I think, like, if you have a high cancellation rate, then there's something in your business model that you need to look at and maybe adjust. Or are people not properly understanding what they're getting for membership and how to access it? So then you start looking at, is my site well structured? Do people know from their account page how to get to the things that are a feature of their membership? Am I priced wrong? Are tons of people canceling because they realize a ton of value in the first month, but I have a monthly membership that's $5, and really that first month is like their high value month, and then month 2 there's really nothing new for them. We see that with course sites. If you have a limited number of courses and are trying to pigeonhole it into a multi-payment recurring payment thing, but really your value is just take my 5 courses and people can accomplish those within a month or within 3 months, then people might be canceling because there's nothing left for them at the end of that. So a high cancellation rate can be just a misaligned value, pricing and value situation. The same's true, like you have a really high value and tons of it, but people just consume it all really quickly and then leave because they download it all. Let's say you have like a library of downloadable PDFs and tools. They sign up for 1 month, they download everything, and then they cancel right away because they don't really want to pay you ongoing for these tools. So yeah, think about that. Something you can do is consider like a drip. If you're seeing that people are like consuming too much in the first month or in the first term, however long that is, consider using like a drip or drip feed add-on or other ways to drip content so that they have to stick with it and consume content at a regular pace, a regular human's pace, not an abusive pace, and keep paying you through things like that. So those are good tips. But I always say like the best tip is making cancellation straightforward. You might be really great at sales and really great at winning people back and convincing them to stay, but it's a mantra of ours to focus on the people that want to pay you. So the more time you're spending, like, please stay, here's a coupon and here's a thing and what can we do for you? That's just a ton of time you're spending dealing with people who may have already made their decision and are ready to go. And it distracts you from serving the people who are loyal, who love your stuff and aren't in those same places. So a straightforward cancellation process is just cut and dirty. Okay, let's go. Part ways. No more anything for us together. I'm going to go work with these people who love me, who think my content's great, and I can keep nurturing them and delivering them and making them happy. So think about that the more you try to customize this process and any tricks you put in place.
Yeah, you want to keep the people that want to be around rather than trying to keep the people who don't want to be around. Nobody needs that negative energy in their life.
No. And that's like me 12 years into this, that I'm at peace with that. In the beginning, when people canceled and we were only having like 5 people a month sign up for Paid Memberships Pro, like that hurts because it's 1/5 of the people. And you're like, oh my gosh, is anyone else going to sign up? What if all the other 4 cancel? So I understand that at different stages in the business, you might have a more high touch cancellation process than at later stages when you're more comfortable and there's a better like flow of people in and out your door. And it's okay to be high touch in the beginning because that's when you need the information most. That's when you can pivot the fastest. and get in touch with your customers and learn what they really want, not what you imagined that they wanted when you set out to do this thing.
Yeah. Ryan has another question. If someone's membership cancels at the gateway, is it possible for the reason for canceling in the email to show something else instead of just NA?
Ooh. Let's look at the code. We can't get away from doing any code demos here. You would like it to say something like, triggered at the gateway or something like that. That's not filterable here. It's not available here.
Well, I guess also this is like at the gateway. So if they go on PayPal and cancel on PayPal.
Well, I mean, yeah, we certainly couldn't capture a reason at the gateway. The gateway might have their own field for that. I think PayPal actually does. Maybe they don't. No, it's only when you cancel someone that it gives you a field to say, why are you doing this? Or why are you refunding the customer request? Something like that. But I think maybe you want to know, you don't want NA. You want something, even as admin, could we show like this was triggered at the gateway? It's not through us. Doesn't look like
Ryan
it's straightforward
says it would be nice to have it say payment failed or payment not paid. But if someone's going to the gateway and purposely canceling their membership, it's not that the payment failed or that the payment wasn't made.
Right.
When it didn't go through, it's that they actually canceled it.
Yes.
But
if it could add an order note would be great to say like this was, generated or triggered by the gateway. That's why they canceled. I like that idea. It'd be good to see. Then you could do some reports of like what percentage of people are canceling at the gateway versus at my site. A lot of people don't like PayPal for that reason because it gives customers total control over managing that piece of things. But at the flip side, a lot of people love PayPal because they get that freedom and that's their preferred payment method online. So that's like a two-headed coin for sure. But I do like the idea of adding something to the email of where the cancellation occurred.
So Ryan said most of our cases is because payments failed because our memberships are 1-year memberships. But that wouldn't be because the member's going in and canceling payment. That would be because there's the other recurring payment.
Yeah. So 2 tips I want to give you for that one. I always like to install a plugin like Email Log, and we are talking about building something like this into our plugin. But for now, what users should be getting is tell me your gateway if you can, but I'll just kind of talk through this. Stripe. Okay. So Stripe has their own thing. They call it Smart Retries. And when a payment fails, Stripe is supposed to tell your site, hey, like we couldn't process this recurring payment. Something's wrong with the card. And then PMPro says, cool, got it. I'm going to send them an email. And the email goes to them and it says like, hey, your payment failed. Click here to update your billing information. And some percentage of users will, some percentage won't. A year membership is hard because people kind of change credit cards. They get fraud, they get a new number. And so much time goes by between those payments. They're not like aware like, oh yeah, I got a new card. I have to update that. So one thing I like to do, if you don't have this add-on active yet, for memberships that are that long, send a recurring payment email reminder. PMPro doesn't send a reminder of payment when it's processing on a recurring schedule. It'll just process it and send them their invoice. So by installing and activating this, it's going to start sending a notice prior to renewal. And it will tell people in the default email, you can customize it, say like, oh, we're going to charge a card ending in 1234. And then people can be like, oh, that's not my card anymore. Oh my goodness, let me log in and fix that so I don't lose my membership and get it reset. So that's a good one. PayPro also sends a notice if it notices that the card is coming up on expiration. So if you have a payment that's coming due and the card on file ends in June 2023, PayPro will send an email and say like, hey, that card is going to need to be updated. So that's another notice people can get. With the smart retries with Stripe, that's in the Stripe settings when it's going to retry a payment and how many times. I think we have ours set to 3 times. Some sites do more or less times depending on what they want to see. But really, with that email log active, you should be able to see, are these members who have failed payments getting a notice from our site to update their billing information? Is that process working? If I go into my Stripe account and I reference a user who says they updated their billing, is there a new card attached to the subscription that they're going to retry that charge? So just some ways to look into that to try to reduce the number of failures you get.
So Ryan did say they do have smart entries added, smart re-entries added, and it does email the user, but sometimes they don't pay anyway. And they also are using the recurring payment email reminder.
Okay, so you're doing everything. And these people just
say my bit of advice would just be that unfortunately, you're just losing those customers. And you're doing everything in your power to make it not happen. But
yeah,
and this was a open office hours that was like, it's kind of sad to talk about, but it's inevitable. People are going to cancel.
For sure. Anyone that will talk to you and even though they're failing, like we do send an email after cancellation. We started doing that to ask why. We have like a win back email with a coupon we try to give people, but the more we've seen the reasons coming through that we do track, the more it's obvious that I switched platforms. I don't run this business anymore. I'm not working with that client anymore. There's so few that we can really recover. The ones that say like, it's just too expensive for me at this time in my life, those we can try to recover and offer them a way to like, come back soon, or here's a little bit of a discount for like the sale we're running next, give them that offer. So small things that you can try, but yeah.
Awesome. So
yeah.
2 quick
RIP,
questions.
right, Ryan? You can't keep them all.
I know, sorry.
Yeah.
2
Thick
quick
skin.
questions, and then I'll announce what is coming up for our next open office hours. So I have a feeling the answer is no, but do we offer paid consulting on setup and best practices?
We do not. We do. And I know occasionally people will go through our developers and have a not great experience, or they'll go through Codable and have a not great experience. But the people we refer to are available on this page, paymercepro.com/developers. I will say, and if Kim's still on the call, we do a lot of support. We go pretty deep. If you're kind, we're kind, and you can ask questions that are kind of general about your site. We want people to be successful. We want to give deep support for our users. So this page just talks about what we want to do with our support and how deeply we want to go. Now, we're not your developer. We're not going to code for you. We will log into your site if there's bugs, but in general, we're not going to do the actual work. But if it's a question of best practice, submit an email. You might inspire a topic for future open office hours like this, or ask in support. And if the team member who gets your ticket doesn't know, we have a Slack channel. They're like, hey, this person wants to know, how to do this. What's the best way to set up a juggling academy? And we'll all brainstorm for you and get back to you with ideas. So 2 routes you can take to do that. We had when we first started talking about value and pricing and finding the right pricing model, we used to do setup work, and it was hard to juggle on top of the product itself. And a lot of our customers were like, okay, now we want another project and we want another. And we were like, oh gosh, like we're going to become an agency and a product company. And it just didn't fit at the time. So I won't say never, but not right now.
All right. And then our next
Global Voice Acting Academy can juggle. Maybe we need to have like a guest spot on these.
Well,
and then
I think it would actually be really cool if we do like an AMA where we open up the floor.
Yeah.
For people to talk to. But that's gonna be Q3 probably. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Q5, Sam. Q5. Don't we have one of those this year? It feels like it.
It does feel like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next open office hours. Bring your snacks. Pack a cooler.
Oh no.
Jason is going to be setting up a community site from scratch live.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to prepare myself with some snacks as the producer, sitting here with Jason for who knows how long.
Who knows how long?
Well, we'll be here till it's done.
He promised he'd go until it's done.
Starting at 2, going until it's done. So get comfortable. May
Very
25th,
cool.
2 p.m. Eastern. Jason and I will be here.
Nice.
We'll see how long it goes. Maybe people can give him like a let's start a pool and people can
How
put in a
long?
bet.
24 hours.
I really
never
hope
know.
not, Sensible Senko. I really hope not.
It can't
But
be.
that will be not next week, but the week after that, May 25th.
Very cool.
We'll see you guys then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.